Did you guys have to do anything different in terms of stocking commitments or making rewriting a guarantee that someone was going to be ready on Saturday and Sunday nights? Do you have to change your business at all to land this one?
So we obviously bolstered our parts inventory. You know, a typical guy in Southern Idaho, 300 to 400 hours a year on a machine on a windrower is a big year. He's doing 12 or 1,300 hours a year. In that first
on,
year there,
on 6 units versus 1 unit at 400. So he covers a lot of ground.
there was some learning curves that we had to kind of hit on the run. But we definitely bolstered our parts department as far as our stocking levels. We try to push him into a big preseason order early in the spring to kind of get, hey, I need XXXXX, and I'm going to go through this many of them. So let's just get him on his shelf. Then we made a commitment on our parts guy. We've got a parts representative that makes a trip to his shop twice a week. Our theory, we're 35 minutes, Dan, from his shop.
Yeah, 35 minutes.
So, and then tack another 20 to 25 minutes on top of that in a circle is where he could be in any given day. And so, but the common denominator is his home base is where his guys are at every day. So we try to do a good job of keeping him stocked at his shop. And then on the service side, it was, you're just going to have to trust us. There was nothing in writing. There was nothing set in stone that said, this is what's going to happen. We had a hiccup last year with some production issues on some headers. We took him out of a trade unit that he had traded into us and basically said, hey, till we get this fixed, you run our machine. And those are the commitments that we've made to him to say, hey, if you're going to spend $1.2 million with us every year, you're going to be running, not always in the new machine, not always in your machine, but we're going to make sure you keep going. Some nonverbals, but it's kind of how we do business. You spend a lot of money not to be broke down.
Is that a possible that 1.2 million he could do that with you guys every year?
It's been that probably the last 2 years.
I was going to say 2, and we're already looking for year number 3 that we're going to be. The last 3 years in a row, we've been between 800,000 and 1.2 every year with him.
Mm-hmm.
So
great. Did New Holland, the corporate New Holland, have to come with a special deal they have to come to the table and
No. So, right. There's different discount levels based off the size of the customer. There's quantity discounts as far as multi-units, but what we've done with him is we try to roll him about every 11 months, 3.5 weeks, right? We push it to the very end, to try to keep him in that mud roll where we're only doing 6 units with him, but on paper, he owns 12 of them because he did 6 the previous year. We're doing 6 before that year runs up. They helped with some purchase protection plans the last couple of years. But we had a pretty hard conversation with Dave a year ago and just said, hey, why are we spending this extra money if you're going to trade them in a year anyways? The machines come with a 2-year base warranty. So we've got 2 years of coverage, 2 years of protection. Sorry, it's 1 year. My bad. 1 year's unlimited hours, 3-year cutter bar. My bad. But same, you're wasting this money on an extended warranty for no reason. This year we were actually able to get CNH Capital in on the deal. Generally, he was going to his personal finance company that he likes to use. And CNH ended up giving us about $15,000 in discounts to make the financing package attractive enough for him to switch over to us. The brand has to be there 100%. Do not mistake what I'm about to say. But I think when you look at color change, it starts at the dealer level. It starts with the relationships that the dealer body itself has, whether it's through a mechanic, whether it's through a parts guy, it's a niece, it's a nephew, it's a salesperson. I think color conversion is such a touchy subject, especially on the brand side, because they do a fancy little colored campaign and we change the world, right? That's why they bought the machine. I disagree 100%. I really do feel like in order for you to make a large color change like we did, it is the dealer body that's the ones out there beating their head against the wall. I think it always pays dividend. We do it once or twice a year. The New Holland folks will be in town. We'll go out to dinner with them that night. Go have lunch, touch base with them because I do believe the customer always feels special when this big corporate employee, traveled out to see them. Mm-hmm. And so, but yeah, I think, the more involvement we can have in a positive light from the brand, the easier brands become to work with, and the portfolio that brand offers. You got a guy running a whole lot of case tractors with a whole lot of New Holland swathers. C&H Capital should be easy to work with him. If he's paying his bill, if he's doing all the things that he's supposed to do, right? That's my 360, look around. That's the way I view it. It takes all of us to be productive. It takes all of us to make this happen. And the first swather deal we did with him was an absolute debacle. We couldn't get the machines here in time. Dan walked him into my office. I about pooped my pants. He says, "When am I going to have swathers?" And I said, "May the 4th. We'll deliver them May the 4th. Dan walked out. Dan came back in after David gone, and he goes, "Where are you going to get machines?" And I was like, "I don't know, but I better get to work because, delivery times are important. They really are." So,
and for the record, we were delivering the last machine on May 4th.
Yep.
So how did you get them? What?
Begged, borrowed, and stealed. We swapped machines from.
That's why David has a big receding hairline, is because he yanked it out.
Yeah.
And we had many lovely, lovely conversations. And what I mean conversations was panic attack. The gals in the office like to say yelling, but me and David just say we talk loud.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I really love working for Intermountain New Holland, because David flat out looked me in the eye and says, "We're going to make it happen." And we did. He worked endless hours and phone calls, and he did. David made it happen. And it's nice to work for a guy who is willing to do what nobody else does. So we're all on the same page, and our service department is the same way. It's like, we get it. We're gonna do what we have to do to keep the customer going. And it was like he said, it's late nights and early mornings, but that's how you land the big fish, right? And that's what keeps us, I think, moving forward. And I think that's what's caused us clash in the last 4 years that David's take over as a general manager, is because he wants to grow the business, and he's doing a damn good job at it. And we're, full steam ahead.
So my philosophy there, Mike, though, right? These guys, my salesmen don't get a salary. They are 100% commission based. If they don't sell, they don't make it. They don't get a paycheck. My finance director has some sympathy every once in a while for them and acts like, uh-oh. And so, they only get paid to sell. So when they go out and do their job and they go sell the equipment, it's my job to go find the equipment. I'd love it if we stocked every piece all the time, but the carrying costs that we incur as a business these days is just astronomical. Yeah. And so, but that's the story, Mike. It was a success. It worked out perfect. I mean, it was, if you'd ask New Holland, that's a textbook conversion, right? We did a demo, we did it 1 unit, we got them all. It was a lot harder than that. It was a lot of long hours, a lot of long days. Daniel has done a great job of babysitting that and coddling it and keeping everybody happy. But I think Dan's got a huge up. He's bilingual. He can speak Spanish. He can speak Portuguese. English is a little rough for him, but the other two he does good on. And I think the benefit you have is you can talk to those customers. We're not like the Midwest where you're an owner operator and you drive it. We are heavy. Very few of our owners actually drive the equipment.